Everyone, welcome to economics class. Today we will discuss about the second unit of Indian economic development. This unit contains current challenges like poverty, human capital formation, rural development, employment growth, informalization and casualization of workforce, then infrastructure, then environment and sustainable development. Dear students, this particular unit contains 22 marks, and because the CBSE has changed the pattern, that's why in term 1 there will be only 3 chapters. One is poverty, second is human capital formation, and third is rural development. And these 3 chapters contain 10 marks. Clear? So this is all about the second unit and the syllabus of first term from this very particular unit. Now move to the second. What is poverty? In this very video, we will discuss about what is poverty, then what are the measures of poverty, that is the absolute poverty and relative poverty, because these two are in your syllabus. The focus of your syllabus is on absolute and relative poverty. Then concept of poverty line, then government approaches to remove poverty and poverty alleviation programs. So in this very topic, these two concepts as well as the poverty alleviation programs and the government approach, these are very important. So our main focus will be on these particular two topics. Now move to the topic, what is poverty? Poverty refers to a situation when all those who are all those uh, poverty refers to a situation when people are not capable to satisfy their basic requirements, or you can say the basic requirements of food, shelter and clothing. So poverty refers to inability to satisfy basic requirements. And in during the 5-year plan, providing minimum basic needs to the people and reduction of poverty has been the major aim. Then 5-year plans, as we have already discussed, that are that almost all the 5-year plans stressed over the achieving of minimum standard of living for all. Poverty is a challenge not only for India but for entire world, because poverty refers to inability to satisfy the basic requirements. Now, around 270 million poor people live in India. If we just count the population of India living below poverty line, it is approximately 22%, and in absolute terms it is more than 270 million people. Clear? So from this very data we can easily understand the severity of the poverty that prevails in Indian economy. Now move to the rural and urban poverty. We will discuss about this very topic in the later part of the video. Now, what's about the common characteristics of poverty? Poverty refers to hunger and starvation. Poverty refers to the availability of poor health facilities, availability of limited economic opportunities, lack of facilities of electricity and water, that is the basic requirements, then debt trap, gender inequality, and bigger size of families. Dear students, as we have already discussed, that poverty leads to the population explosion also, because poverty in fact is the cause of all the social as well as economic problems or economic issues in an economy. Poor people welcome every newcomer in the family because they do not consider them as liability, rather they consider them as asset. ये आपने देखा होगा कि जो पुअर फैमिलीज होती हैं वहाँ पर पॉपुलेशन साइज भी ज़्यादा होता है. सो दिस इज़ ऑल अबाउट द कॉमन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ पॉवर्टी. Now move to the next topic, measures of poverty. This is very important topic. This is the relative poverty and absolute poverty. Relative poverty refers to the poverty of people in comparison to other people, region और nation. जब हम किसी के कंपैरिजन में किसी को अंडरस्टैंड करने की कोशिश करते हैं, then it becomes the relative. On the other hand, absolute poverty refers to the total number of people living below poverty line. Dear students, try to understand this very concept. अगर एक बच्चे के 85% मार्क्स आए हैं, नॉट बैड, अच्छे नंबर हैं, लेकिन अगर मैं उसको एक 97% वाले स्टूडेंट के साथ कंपेयर करके देखूं तो मैं कहूँगी नहीं, इस बच्चे के नंबर कम है. दिस इज़ इन कंपैरिजन, दैट्स वाई इट विल बी रिलेटिवली. ठीक है. और अगर मैं एक स्टूडेंट की बात करूं जिसके मार्क्स ही 35% आए हैं, मीन्स वो बच्चा एक्चुअल में ही पुअर परफॉर्म कर रहा है. मीन्स एब्सोल्यूट पॉवर्टी मीन्स एक्चुअल लेवल ऑफ पॉवर्टी. रिलेटिव पॉवर्टी मीन्स द पॉवर्टी that exist in comparison to some other people or region or nation or caste, creed, etc. Now, few topics are there. Relative poverty. Relative poverty refers to the poverty of people in comparison to other people, region, nation, caste, creed, etc. As I have already told you. Then, example, western region of the country is richer than eastern region. ईस्टर्न रीजन है हमारा इंडिया के बारे में हम बात करें. वेस्टर्न रीजन ऑफ द कंट्री इज़ रिचर दैन द ईस्टर्न रीजन. ईस्टर्न रीजन में हमारे आते हैं नागालैंड, त्रिपुरा, असम. और वेस्टर्न रीजन में हमारे आते हैं गुजरात, राजस्थान. तो बहुत आसानी से हम इनको कंपेयर कर सकते हैं. देन इम्पॉर्टेंस, डिटरमाइनिंग द रिलेटिव पोजिशन ऑफ द डिफरेंट सेगमेंट्स ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन. देन व्हाट आर द लिमिटेशंस? इट नेग्लेक्ट्स द पर कैपिटा अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. क्योंकि हम यहाँ सिर्फ कंपैरिजन के बारे में बात करते हैं. सो दिस इज़ ऑल अबाउट द रिलेटिव पॉवर्टी. देन व्हाट्स अबाउट द एब्सोल्यूट पॉवर्टी? टोटल नंबर ऑफ पीपल लिविंग बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन, बिकॉज इट इज़ एक्चुअल लेवल ऑफ पॉवर्टी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, 22% of India's population is living below poverty line. Why it is important? Because it relevant for developing economies, as it helps to determine the number of poor people, because it helps us to understand the actual level or actual amount of people that are living below the poverty line, or the people who are facing the problem of starvation. Then what are the limitations? It neglects social factors, illiteracy, lack of access to resources, lack of civil and political freedom. So this is all about the absolute poverty. Dear students, this topic is very, very important. Now, what's about the poverty line? We will discuss here about the absolute poor, then the very poor, then the poor. What is poverty line? Poverty line refers to an imaginary cutoff that divides the population into poor and non-poor. And when we categorize the population among different categories, we have basically 10 categories. The very first category is absolute poor, means who are always poor. Then very poor, then not so poor, means occasionally poor. Then middle class, they are capable to handle their basic requirements. Then upper middle class, then the rich, the very rich, millionaires, billionaires. Clear? So this is all about the categories of poor. Now, concept of poverty. Dear students, we have already discussed this is never poor. Never poor means the population who is always the proportion of the population that is always above the poverty line. अगर आपको ये दिख रहा है तो ये जो रेड कलर की लाइन है ये हमारी पॉवर्टी लाइन है. ये क्या शो कर रही है? एक इमेजिनरी कट ऑफ. इससे हमेशा ऊपर रहते हैं मतलब नॉन पुअर. हमेशा पुअर मतलब ऑलवेज पुअर मीन्स ऑलवेज बिलो द पॉवर्टी लाइन. देन यूजुअली पुअर. यूजुअली पुअर मीन्स ज़्यादातर टाइम गरीब हैं, मीन्स द ग्राफ इज usually below the poverty line. Then churning poor, then the occasionally poor. Churning poor means transient poverty. कभी ऊपर है कभी नीचे है. आप देख रहे हो कुछ टाइम पॉवर्टी लाइन से नीचे, फिर पॉवर्टी लाइन से ऊपर, फिर पॉवर्टी लाइन से नीचे, फिर पॉवर्टी लाइन से ऊपर. और ओकेजनली पुअर में क्या है? ज़्यादातर पुअर हैं, बहुत कम ये मतलब ज़्यादातर टाइम जो है वो पॉवर्टी लाइन से नीचे रहते हैं और कभी कभी ऊपर चले जाते हैं. जैसे हम बात करें कि जो कैजुअली हायर्ड वर्कर्स हैं उनको जिस दिन काम मिल जाता है उस दिन अपनी बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स को पूरा कर लेते हैं. जिस दिन उनके पास काम नहीं होता उस दिन वो अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट को पूरा नहीं कर पाते, या उनकी सेविंग्स क्योंकि उनके बहुत कम होती है, दैट्स वाई उनको कभी कभी क्या रहना पड़ता है? अबव पॉवर्टी लाइन और कभी बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन. सो दीज टू that is the churning poor as well as the occasionally poor, comes under the category of transient poor. This graph is very, very important. This graph is given in NCERT book also. So dear students, this topic is very, very important. Now move to how to measure the absolute poverty. In order to measure the absolute poverty, in India poverty line is used. Now what's about the poverty line? As we have already discussed, poverty line refers to an imaginary cutoff that divides the population into poor and non-poor, and it is determined by the Planning Commission on the basis of data provided by NSSO. So dear students, you are to learn about this. This is determined by the Planning Commission on the basis of the data provided by National Sample Survey Organization. Now, NSSO conduct, again an important sentence, NSSO conducts a survey to capture monthly per capita consumption expenditure, that is MPCE, on various sections of the society. Monthly per capita consumption, एवरेज देखा जाता है कि कितना कितना कौन खर्च कर रहा है. जैसे हम रूरल एरिया में डिस्कस करें तो रूरल एरिया में मंथली पर कैपिटा कंजम्पशन कम होता है और अर्बन एरिया में मंथली पर कैपिटा कंजम्पशन ज़्यादा होता है. इट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ द रीज़न इन रूरल एरियाज the cost of living is low as compared to the urban area. In poverty line, a standard is fixed in terms of minimum level of consumption, and absolute poverty refers to a situation when a person fails to reach this minimum consumption level. अगर हम बात करें for example, अगर हम ये बात करें कि इंडिया में अर्बन एरिया में मंथली कंजम्पशन है 1500 रुपीज़ और रूरल एरिया में है 1060 रुपीज़. तो अगर एक पर्सन या एक फैमिली उस कंजम्पशन लेवल को नहीं मेंटेन कर पा रहे, इट मीन्स दे आर लिविंग बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन. इन टर्म्स ऑफ टोटल नंबर ऑफ एब्सोल्युटली पुअर, 21.9% इन इंडिया कवर्स 50% ऑफ द एब्सोल्युटली पुअर इन द वर्ल्ड. वर्ल्ड की आधी गरीब जनसंख्या इंडिया में है. चाहे हमारे कंट्री में इट इज़ 22% ऑफ आवर पॉपुलेशन, बट इंडिया कवर्स 50% of the absolutely poor in world. Now, measures of poverty in pre-post independent India. Measurement of poverty कोई ऐसा बहुत ज़्यादा ऑफिशियल एफर्ट्स नहीं किए गए थे इंडिया में पॉपुलेशन को पॉवर्टी को मेज़र करने के लिए, लेकिन यहाँ पर एक दादा भाई नौरोजी ने was the first person to introduce the concept of poverty line. Again, for 1 mark, it is very, very important. This is pre-independent India. Dadabhai Naoroji, concept of poverty line, he used jail cost of living. To calculate poverty, he used the menu for a prisoner and used appropriate prevailing prices to arrive at the cost of consumption of an adult prisoner. उन्होंने रखा ही क्या था कि प्रिजनर्स पर उन्होंने देखा था कि वेदर दे आर कैपेबल टू गेट देयर बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ फूड. तो यहाँ पर जो आ रहा उनका कॉन्सेप्ट था, दैट वाज जेल कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग, अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक फॉर 1 mark. क्लियर? In pre-independent India, Dadabhai Naoroji, jail cost living, and he used the menu for a prisoner and used appropriate prevailing prices. So this is about the measurement of poverty in pre-independent India. Now after independence, that is the in post-independent India, again a very important concept. You are to learn all these years along with the study groups or the expert groups. आपको ये सब बहुत अच्छे से याद करना है. In 1962, Planning Commission formed a study group. In 1977, Alagh Committee. In 1989, Lakadwala Committee. In 2005, Tendulkar Committee. In January 2011, again an expert group under the chairmanship of Professor Suresh Tendulkar. Very important topic. In June 2012, Planning Commission constituted an expert committee under chairmanship of Dr. C. Rangarajan. ये आपको सब बहुत अच्छे से याद करनी है. All these committees or study groups or the expert groups were made for the measurement of poverty in India. Clear? Now this is the poverty line. Again, very important topic. Poverty line is a cutoff point on the line of distribution, as I've already told you. Now, monthly per capita consumption expenditure. This is minimum calorie intake. Actually, we have two we have two ways to determine poverty line in India. The very first one is the minimum calorie intake. As you have already studied in your previous classes, that 2400 calorie per person per day in rural areas is required uh, for the measurement of population living below poverty line, and the minimum calorie norms for urban areas is 2100 calorie. Why these calorie requirements are different in different areas? It is because of the reason that in rural areas manual work is more, that's why more calorie intake is required, while in case of urban area manual work is less, rather uh, mental work is there, that's why less calorie norms are required. Now, what's about the minimum? This is about the minimum consumption expenditure. Minimum monthly per capita consumption expenditure is rupees 816 per person in rural areas and rupees 1000 in urban areas. Again, the difference between this monthly per capita consumption expenditure in rural and urban areas is due to the difference in the cost of living. Cost of living is higher in case of urban areas and is low in case of the rural areas. Clear? Now, what's about the categorizing poverty? We have already discussed about this topic. This is very, very important. You are to learn with the help of graph. Clear, beta? Now, move to the next. This is about the criticism of poverty. Poverty line is criticized because of few reasons. That is, number one, it is difficult to identify which group require the help of the government because it just divides the population into different categories. It does not provide any suggestion that the subsidies or the financial help or other kind of government help are required by which particular group. Many factors other than income and assets, that is accessibility to basic education, healthcare, drinking water, etc. are ignored. It just gives emphasis on MPCE. Clear? Now some social factors like lack of resources, lack of civil and political freedom are also ignored. हमें नहीं पता लग रहा कि whether people are capable to access their the political rights or the civil freedom or the political freedom. That's why poverty line just focuses on MPCE or the availability of the calories. That's why it is oftenly criticized. Clear? Now, number and proportion of people, BPL, we have one more important concept, that is the what is head count ratio. Head count ratio refers to number of people below poverty line divided by the total population, means the ratio between the number of people living below poverty line divided by the total population. And the data collected by NSSO, number of people below poverty line in 1973-74 was 320 billion, and in 11-12 it has reduced to 270 millions. On the other hand, the percentage of people living below poverty line, earlier it was 55% and now it has reduced to 22%. Dear students, I want to suggest you that go with the data given in NCERT book, because NCERT book will be considered as the base of 1 mark questions also. Clear? Now, what's about the extent of rural and urban poverty? It is very much clear from the table that in the year 2004-5, rural poverty was around 42%, and in 2011-12, it has reduced to 26%. Similarly, urban poverty it was 27% and now it has reduced to 14%. But when we try to understand this very table, we come to know that rural poverty is always more than the urban poverty. It is because of the reason in rural areas the the agriculture is a main occupation. That's why people have to remain disguisedly unemployed, because we have already studied that in agriculture sector there is seasonal unemployment, disguised unemployment. Because of the absence of secondary and tertiary sector in rural areas, people have to remain have to engage themselves in agrarian activities or primary activities. Clear? That's why the level of poverty is higher in case of rural areas uh, in the year 2004-5 and even in the year 2011-12. Clear? Now these are the causes of poverty. We can very much understand that large size of population is the biggest cause of poverty in India. Then income inequality, the gap between the richer section and poor section is again responsible for the massive poverty in India. Then lack of capital, as we have already studied, India inherited an economy that was totally backward, and because of this very capital deficiency, we are not capable to generate ample job opportunities for the people. The result is poverty. Then inflation, almost all the plans have witnessed high inflation rate, and due to inflation rate, that is hike in general price level, people are not capable to satisfy their basic requirements. That's why there is poverty. Now, high level of unemployment because of the large size of population, capital deficiency, employment rate is quite low as compared to the requirement. Now, low level of economic development again because India is in this very topic I want to discuss something extra. This is about a country is poor because the country is poor. Means poverty itself is a cause of poverty. Because of poverty, there is low level of income. Low level of income leads to low level of investment, and this low level of investment leads to low level of economic development. And because of low level of growth, low level of economic development, there is occurrence of poverty. Now, lack of infrastructure. Infrastructure refers to the supporting structure, and this supporting structure helps an economy to develop. But in India, because of lack of efficient means of infrastructure, the growth rate remains quite low, and the result is massive poverty. Then, backward agriculture sector in India, approximately 50 to 55% population is still directly or indirectly engaged in agriculture sector, but in agriculture sector there is backwardness, means no modernized methods are used. That's why, and further it is rain fed. The result is people have to remain people have to remain seasonally or disguisedly unemployed, means they have to remain satisfied on very low wage rate. The result is massive poverty. So these are the causes of poverty. Actually beta, when we are to discuss about the causes of poverty, this is the open ended question, means इसके अलावा भी आप बहुत सारे causes जो भी आपको समझ आए वो आप causes उसमें understand कर सकते हो. So these are related with the causes of poverty. Now move to the next topic. This is measure to eradicate poverty. This is very very important topic. In India, three-dimensional government approaches have been adopted. The very first is growth oriented approach. Very very important. Growth oriented approach is based on expectation that the effect of economic growth would rapidly increase the GDP and per capita income. This would reach all sections of the society, and for the betterment of the poor section. This is also known as trickle down approach. ट्रिकल डाउन अप्रोच का मतलब हमको फोकस कहाँ करना है, इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ पर. अगर एक इकोनॉमी ग्रो करेगी, नेशनल इनकम बढ़ेगी, पर कैपिटा इनकम बढ़ेगी, तो ऑटोमेटिकली द गैप बिटवीन द रिचर सेक्शन एंड द पुअर सेक्शन विल reduce, and the result will the development of the entire society. That's why this growth oriented approach is also known as trickle down approach. This is very very important. Now move to the second one. This is related with the third 5-year plan. The second approach was has been initiated with a notable program was the food for work. Again very important. In third 5-year plan, a very important program, that is food for work, was adopted in order to reduce the people living below poverty line, in order to reduce the number of people living below poverty line. The third approach is to provide minimum basic amenities to the people. Later part of the video we will discuss about few programs like the 20-point programs, etc. In this we will discuss that the approach is basically related with to provide minimum basic amenities to the people through public distribution system. Now through this approach, through this approach Programs have supplemented the consumption of the poor, generation of employment opportunities, and improvement of health and education, because these are very very important for the development of development of people, or you can simply say these all these come under the category of the basic requirements of people. Now move to the next one: combating poverty by improving distribution of income through fiscal policy. Fiscal policy refers to the taxation and taxation and subsidy. Fiscal policy refers to the budgetary policy also. So, how the government has uh, adopted fiscal measures to reduce poverty or to alleviate poverty. The very first, greater emphasis on progressive taxes. Dear students, we have already discussed about the progressive taxes. Progressive taxes are those taxes in which the tax burden is more on richer section, because richer section have more tax paying capacity. That's why more taxes have been imposed on the richer section, and this collected tax revenue is used for the betterment of poor section. Now tax revenue can be used to provide the subsidies to the poor section of the society. Subsidies on coarse grain, clothes and basic needs of the people, capital grants to the poor for constructing houses. मतलब क्या इसमें सिस्टम रखा गया कि रिचर सेक्शन पर टैक्सेस ज़्यादा लगाए जाए और जो टैक्स कलेक्ट हो रहा है, जो रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट हो रहा है, उसको पुअर सेक्शन के लिए यूज़ किया जाए. सो दिस इज़ अबाउट द फिस्कल मैजर्स. नाउ मूव टू द लेजिस्लेटिव मैजर. लेजिस्लेटिव मैजर का मतलब होता है जो कानून बनाए जाते हैं, जो एक्ट बनाए जाते हैं. इसमें सबसे पहले आया मिनिमम वेज एक्ट. मिनिमम वेज एक्ट में क्या था कि अगर एक आदमी 8 घंटे काम करता है तो उसको मिनिमम वेजेस के लिए वो एंटाइटल्ड हो जाता है. जैसे हम हरियाणा में बात करें, ये जो मिनिमम वेजेस होते हैं ये स्टेट टू स्टेट वेरी करते हैं. हरियाणा में मिनिमम वेजेस जो हैं वो 300 रुपीज़ है. अगर हम किसी लेबर को अपने घर में काम करने के लिए लाते हैं तो हमें 8 घंटे के बदले में उसको 300 रुपये देने पड़ेंगे. दिस इज़ द मिनिमम वेज एक्ट. नेक्स्ट, प्राइस फ्लोर. प्राइस फ्लोर का मतलब होता है मिनिमम प्राइस. ठीक है, जैसे इसमें क्या है कि एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए मिनिमम प्राइस को फिक्स कर दिया जाता है, और जैसे वीट हो गया या राइस हो गया, इससे कम पर वो हमको नहीं मिलेगा. मतलब इन ऑर्डर टू प्रोटेक्ट द फार्मर्स और इन ऑर्डर टू रिड्यूस द पॉवर्टी in agriculture sector. Then the minimum support price. This is the stipulated minimum price to be offered to the farmers for the purchase of their output. आपको ये पता है कि गवर्नमेंट भी फार्मर से प्रोड्यूस खरीदती है, मतलब फार्म प्रोड्यूस खरीदती है. जैसे वीट हो गया, राइस हो गया, अपने पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम को ज़्यादा एफिशिएंट बनाने के लिए अपने वो बफर स्टॉक मेंटेन करती है. तो बफर स्टॉक को जिस रेट पर ख़रीदा जाता है उसको कहते हैं मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस. Then the right to education. Illiteracy is again one of the major reason for poverty in India, because due to illiteracy people are not capable to involve themselves in some gainful activity. The result is massive unemployment, and unemployment leads to the poverty. That's why right to education was also provided in order to increase the quality of life of the poor people. So this is about the legislative measure. Along with these two measures, we have few other measures like the development of agriculture through mechanized means, by providing permanent means of irrigation, then the composite fertilizers, then the financial assistance to the small farmers, and the provision of permanency on land, that is providing land to the landless workers in order to develop the agriculture sector. Then stability in price level. As we have already discussed that high inflation rate is responsible for poverty. That's why measures were taken to stabilize the price level. Prices can be stabilized if when production of food grains and other goods of mass consumption is increased. मतलब हम उसको सप्लाई को बढ़ाएं. आपको ये बात बहुत अच्छे से पता होगी. इन्फ्लेशन रेट बढ़ता कब है? जब सप्लाई और डिमांड में मिसमैच आ जाता है. तो ज़रूरी है कि हम सप्लाई को इंक्रीज़ करें और फेयर प्राइस के थ्रू हम पुअर सेक्शन तक इसको पहुंचाएं. फेयर प्राइस शॉप्स कौन से होती हैं? पीडीएस सिस्टम के थ्रू. देन प्रोविज़न फॉर मिनिमम नीड्स ऑफ द पुअर. देन स्पेशल फोकस ऑन बैकवर्ड रीजन, क्योंकि ये भी हमको पता है कि बैकवर्ड रीजन में पॉवर्टी ज़्यादा प्रिवेल करती है, क्योंकि वहाँ पर एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ नहीं होती या कम होती हैं, सेकेंडरी और टर्शरी सेक्टर डेवलप नहीं होता, इससे स्पेशल फोकस ऑन बैकवर्ड रीजन. देन इफेक्टिव पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू bring out, to pull out the population below poverty line. Clear? Now this is about the poverty alleviation program. Dear students, this is very very important. ये आपको बहुत अच्छे से करना है. इसमें मैं आपको मैंने एक टेबल की हेल्प से आपको प्रोवाइड किया है, लेकिन आप यहाँ से भी प्रिपेयर करोगे और फिर हम एनसीईआरटी की बुक में से भी इसको करेंगे. मैंने एनसीईआरटी की बुक में से इसको कवर किया हुआ. नाउ poverty alleviation program has two parts. One is the self-employment programs, then the wage employment program. Self-employment program means to generate employment opportunities for self-employment, because it is not possible to provide job or wage employment to each and every person of the country, like India, where population size is very very high. That's why it is important to generate, to motivate the people for generating self employment. Under this, rural employment generation programs, that is the EGPR comes. Then the Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana is there. Swaran Jayanti Shehri Rozgar Yojana, this is meant for the urban area. Then Swaran Jayanti Gram Savrojgar Yojana, this is meant for rural area. Under wage employment program, we have Sampurn Gramin Rozgar Yojana, then National Food for Work program. This is very very important. Clear? Now this is again few concepts related with REGP, PMRY, then SJSRY. This is Swaran Jayanti Shehri Rozgar Yojana. These are the objectives and these are the description and achievement. Like centrally sponsored scheme, which was funded on 75 to 75 is to 25 basis between center and state. Dear students, you are advised to go through these poverty alleviation programs because these are very very important. Clear? This is again Swaran Jayanti Savrojgar. This is Swaran Jayanti Savrojgar Yojana. Swaran Jayanti Gram Savrojgar Yojana. This is for द रूरल एरिया. इसको बहुत अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करना. इसके डिस्क्रिप्शन को आपने बहुत अच्छे से देखना है. पहले सब ये जो स्वर्ण जयंती ग्राम स्वरोजगार योजना है, इसको रीस्ट्रक्चर करके NRLM, दैट इज़ नेशनल रूरल लाइवलीहुड मिशन में इसको कन्वर्ट किया. ये सब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, आपको ये बड़े अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करना है. देन मनरेगा इज़ देयर. मनरेगा में 100 डेज़ का एश्योर्ड वर्क है और इसमें 2006 में इसको लॉन्च किया गया था. फिर इसका नया नाम आया महात्मा गांधी नरेगा, इसको बनाया गया. ये आपने बहुत अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करना है. इस योजना में इस पॉलिसी को, जो पॉलिसी मनरेगा की है, इस पॉलिसी को वर्ल्ड की काफ़ी कंट्रीज़ ने इंडिया से अडॉप्ट किया है. अंडर दिस पॉलिसी राइट टू वर्क वॉज प्रोवाइडेड. और क्या रखा गया कि इट इज़ द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ गवर्नमेंट टू प्रोवाइड वर्क टू द person who is capable as well as willing to work, failing which it is the responsibility of government to provide unemployment allowances or assured work for 100 days. Clear? So this is all about the poverty alleviation program. So dear students, you are to prepare this chapter because you are to prepare this chapter in an excellent way because this is very very important topic. Now move to your homework. You have to go through the chapter thoroughly, and you have any doubt, you can send me in the group or you can ask me personally. So have a wonderful day. With this, your topic is over. Goodbye, dear students.